have sat in on part of a sermon, and I was really little, and all I remember is that the pastor was like making a joke about Popeye.
If somebody were, filling out a questionnaire, religion, I would say yes. I think it would be so much better to focus on how he would say things like, suffer the little children to come unto me, and just be the spirit of light and love. And so that's how I ended up sort of moving away from traditional religion and looking for something that celebrated the spirit of being alive.
I went to a bunch of backyard Bible groups when I was really young, and I think those made me sort of a little jaded toward Christianity.
We need religions that are going to uplift people and help them see themselves as dignified and made in the image and likeness of God, and focus on that.
So I totally didn't get it, and I left really quickly because I got bored.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't give a whole lot of credence and credibility to any of those things.
Nowadays, Christians kind of like look down upon pagans as like being Satanists, which is totally not true. We don't even believe in Satan.
Well, I was raised Presbyterian, so we went to Sunday school every Sunday, and I used to love the little colored pictures of Jesus with his little lambs all around him, and I love the imagery and the symbolism. I love the ritual of the church services.
Students are questioning things, okay? It takes a great deal of patience and openness to hear what the student is struggling with, not that they're absolutely opposed to this, that, or the other thing.
People found out when I was in middle school that I was Wiccan, and they didn't understand what it was, and like a lot of people teased me because of it, and they just didn't know what it was. Like they thought it was some satanic cult or something, which couldn't be further from the truth.
But what saddened me was the focus on Jesus dying for your sins, and that very sad image of Jesus up on the cross, and how we're born in guilt and sin. And I don't know who I was. I feel like I'm a good person, and I'm trying to do better.
During the Crusades, like a lot of Christians wanted pagans to convert, so in order to do that, they'd try and take aspects of like pagan culture and try to put it into Christianity as an incentive to switch over, but unfortunately, like this kind of backfired. They put an evil spin on a lot of pagan things. Like for example, my main god that I worship is Pan, who's like a very benign fertility god. And he's goat-headed and has like goat feet, and this was totally changed into Satan.
And from mythology too, and took like Neptune's trident, and it became the pitchfork of the devil.
And it's called a pentacle, and it is the pagan symbol of our religion. You might have seen it like this, maybe on a metal album or something. That's a Satanist symbol, but it was originally a pagan symbol.
Religions have kind of fed off one another, and the interesting thing is how much they all have in common.
The other thing is, I say, people are at different developmental stages, okay? And it's common for teenagers to make a statement saying, as a child, my parents made me go to church.
My mom raised me pagan. She didn't insist that I was a pagan, but she definitely taught me her ways, and that's how I learned, and I really liked it, so I decided to like stay with it even after I moved out. I mean, the whole aspect of having like a ritual where you match like the color of the candle to the incense, to the things you're saying, to the specific god or goddess that you want to pray to. I mean, like there are endless combinations, and that's like leaving room for a lot of creativity and stuff. So I feel like a lot of other religions don't have that openness, and same with like writing your own book and choosing like what set of gods you want to believe in.
All roads lead to the same place, and I think the difficulty is when you adhere to a specific religion and say this is the only way to enlightenment. That's where wars come from. That's how people die. But when you say let me hear the truth of what you believe, or let me hear the truth of what you believe, and you get a gathering together of people that have many different beliefs, you might find that they all share one thing in common, and that's this feeling that they want to evolve, they want to get along, they want to do better in life, that there's this sort of purity of spirit that they're all striving towards. And they're all different names for love. And it's just a shame and a tragedy that so many people have died in the name of love. I'm not too familiar with Satanism because I don't like to go into the dark side, but from what I understand, it's about power over other people. It's about getting in touch with your inner dark side. Maybe they have cookies, but it's not any place that somebody that's moving towards the light would want to go. Casting spells that show power over other people or try to work power over other people, and I was never about that. And I think there's still that confusion. I think it's from Hollywood movies when you see, oh, Wicca, witchcraft, the pentacle upside down. That's all wrong.
Paganism, or within paganism, there are a lot of opportunities to like sort of talk about your own belief systems. We don't have like a set book that you have to read, and actually like the only book that you have to have is one you write yourself. It's called the Book of Shadows, and it's basically like information on the gods that you believe in and rituals you like to do and stuff like that. So I just feel like Christianity maybe wouldn't be as like open-minded to different like systems of belief. I feel like it's so rigid.
I think again we're getting back to Christianity versus another religion, one religion versus another, and that's my fundamental disagreement.
This is the Pagan Book of Prayer. It's a really cute little volume, and it has prayers for all occasions, and they just sort of list them here, so it's really easy to just find one that you like and then zoom in and read it. The warm time is here, time to work and time to rest, time to celebrate outside, time to prepare for the harvest. All about us the land spirits are singing. All about us the deities are speaking. Help me listen, all you divine beings. May I hear your voices.
Well, tradition has it that the corgi is a magical, mythical dog. It's very close to the ground. The fairy tradition has it that is the dog that the fairies ride on, because the fairies are small, wee creatures, and the corgis are small, wee creatures. And corgis are also thought to be not dogs, but people in dog suits. They have the big dog bark. They have a very pure spirit. They're very sensitive. Their feelings can be hurt easily. They learn quickly. They have a strong, stubborn spirit. They're whimsical. They have a lot of qualities that fairies have, and you don't want to get on their bad side. If you look at any kind of religious service where there's a ritual involved, that's how people draw comfort, from knowing the rules. In the Jewish faith, I believe they have a specific set of practices they follow when someone dies, and there's a book that you can get that shows you different rituals you can do that help make sense of what has happened and give you comfort.
We have the opportunity to recognize that we're all interconnected, okay? And the concept of whether you're the member of a particular country, we are linked by the fact that we're all human beings.
Paganism doesn't promise any answers, but it's an enormous comfort, and it's just like a religion that you can really feel good about. There's no guilt, there's no like atoning for sins. It's all about just being like the best person you can be and the nicest person you can be.